Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. Oh Lord, kumbaya.
Visitors! Visitors! Come in! Come in!
Hey.
Hey, Adam! Hey!
Nice to see you.
Welcome. Thank you so much for coming. We've got Swervedriver here in the
What the
caravan.
hell's going on? We were just having a nice little sing-along of Kumbaya around the campfire.
Well, that's the thing. We were walking past and we heard these dulcet tones.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, we had to investigate, see what was going on inside.
Oh, well, thanks for coming to sing with us, guys.
I wasn't expecting to see you guys in there.
Were you not?
No.
Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. Oh Lord, kumbaya. Oh Lord, kumbaya.
Very nice. You've got all the chords down as well.
Thank you for noticing. I've been practicing a little bit.
That is his $28 guitar from Aldi.
Right. Oh yeah.
It's kind of like your Lidl. You got Aldi over there, haven't you?
Yeah, I do. I mean, we do have Aldi, and it's like with all these guitars and effects pedals, you're actually better off sometimes
Aldi.
going with, these little guys.
Don't they sell packs of frozen chicken and
They sell that as well.
and
Yeah.
guitars?
Sometimes in the middle bit, like they got the chickens around the outside,
Yeah.
and
Right.
cereals, biscuits.
That's right.
But in the middle bit, tents, guitars, telescopes.
Yeah, but also the strings on these guitars are fashioned out of frozen chicken as well. So you kind of they make it out into string shape.
Not good for vegetarians then.
No, it's not a vegetarian.
Not a vegetarian guitar.
Not cool.
What on earth are you doing here?
Well, we just rolled into town, really, because we've got a few shows, and we found ourselves here,
In Coburg.
Yes,
Somewhere in Coburg.
We were given a tip-off that there was something around here.
A good sing-along.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
It's actually quite exciting because this is your 30th anniversary for Swervedriver.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Put it there.
And my goodness, hasn't the lineup changed over those
It
years?
has, yeah, it has. The other one constant, as we mentioned, Jimmy, he's...
Yes.
Because he only got in last night. He flew all the way from London. So he's there, kind of just sort of getting comfortable somewhere. But, it is the 30th anniversary, yeah, but we didn't really know that. And then Adi, our original bass player, messaged me recently and said... Because I said, when was the first gig? And apparently it was February of 1989 at Fulham Greyhound, and we were billed as junk because we used to be called Shakerpill in Oxford, but we wanted to get away from everything and start without anybody knowing who we were, so we played a gig as junk. And the only person from Oxford in the audience was Ride's manager, who had already cottoned on that we were doing this gig, and he was quite savvy and came down doing it, taking notes.
Well, it's quite amazing because Oxford has produced Supergrass. So Mickey is a one-time member of Supergrass, and hopefully we'll be reuniting for Australian shows.
Well, yeah.
I know you're reuniting, and you've announced shows in the UK, haven't you?
Yeah, a couple in the States as well.
Oh, I hope to
On
see you
the
out
cards.
here. On the cards.
Are you doing a recce?
Well, yeah, I'm coming out to check out where
it's all right.
Fingers crossed.
Yes, that's ridiculous.
But of course, the Supergrass, the Swervedriver, there's Ride, as you said, Radiohead.
Who?
No?
Radiohead, yeah.
On a Friday.
They're in Abingdon.
You know them as on a Friday.
There's also a university there.
Apparently so, yeah.
And were you friends though prior in the Shakerpill days?
Here's a bit of information. The first time I ever played electric guitar plugged in was in his family's basement.
Yeah.
Because he used to call it the cellar, and all our bands used to rehearse there. And I was in a band called the Suspects, and Jimmy was in the rival band called the Bogarts. We used to Tomo was the singer. Anyway, this little guy would come down occasionally. all right, lads, what's going on? And we'd be
Did you speak like
all
that
right,
too?
like, Mick.
Well, yeah, at some point, I still do.
But I can't tell you how exciting it was. I got asked to join his brother's band. His brother was in the Suspects. They asked me to join the band, and I came down with my electric guitar, like a cheapo Les Paul copy, which I'd never played plugged in.
Not an
And they
Aldi
said,
one,
plug in over there. I plugged in, and I played the riff to Silver Machine by Hawkwind.
Plugged in.
Yeah, plugged in, and it was like, that was the stratospheric moment where
Everything changed.
Yeah.
So this friendship goes beyond 30 years then?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been like 1982 or something, I think.
Yeah.
Just makes you think about how old we were.
And how did you find?
No, I'm not in the band. I just followed those guys in here.
He just came in off the street with us.
Yeah.
Just come for the fluff.
Just a lost American.
Mike is the mayor of New York. I mean, we met in a show in New York, and his band was opening, and we didn't have we did have a drummer, I guess, but then we didn't have a drummer, and somebody said, you do worse than
You know how
to
you
get
meet a
that guy
couple,
in."
or you could tell
Yeah.
they might split, so you put your name in there to get on the list. But yeah, and that was.
What was your band?
I was playing that night with a band called The Still Out, which we played only a few shows, but the bass player played an Adam solo thing,
Right.
and he's like, "Hey, you gotta meet Adam, And I'm like, "Listen, I'm over it, Swervedriver, I'm over it." But they lit it up that night. Actually, it was great. It was
Yeah.
on the reunion tour, and they were just killing it. And then we became buddies, and then I played some solo shows, Adam's solo band.
Yeah, he's another Bolt of Melody, Alan
Yeah.
Franklin and Bolts of Melody.
And everyone who plays in Bolts of Melody wanted to graduate up to Swerve. And I was like, listen, guys, we'll handle the big business. You will handle the grown-up stuff. You guys hang back. But yeah, that was 2011, something like that. Yeah.
And I guess the name of that band, The Still Out, was because it was just the idea of, it's like you text somebody and there's like, wait a minute, are you still out?
Oh yeah. I mean, you gotta add a lot of. You gotta add a lot of
That's the etymology of
drug
the name.
and drink to get to that band name, and then yeah, dude, right, totally. I quit that band. Really, as soon as I got the Adam gig, I told them, later, dudes.
It's still out.
And we actually toured with Australian Legends, The Church. My first tour with that.
And
I
they are
opened for
Australian
them
legends.
for about
Yeah.
40 dates, and
Yeah,
that's where
right.
40 days and 40 nights.
yeah,
Yeah.
didn't feel a day past 38 days. But yeah, it was it was my first introduction really to Australians.
Wow.
That tour. Yeah, because they brought everybody over. Lighting, everybody was from here, and they were just having a great time. Yeah, and then I got the Swerve gig, I guess like a year later.
Great.
What do you think of Australians?
I married one.
You like them?
No.
No. They're hot?
No. No, it's the best place. I mean, Australia's the best. I love coming here.
Well, of course, we first met Swervedriver in 1998. It was,
Yeah, man. Hell, that's 21 years ago.
and they broke the record, didn't they? On our
Oh, the
show?
loudest band ever.
Officially,
Really?
were the loudest
Really?
band ever on our
Really?
show back in the day.
You damaged
Yes.
us, mate. I'm going to
Right.
sue you.
I mean, because there were quite a few sort of wild recovery performances, weren't there? But it's good to know we were the loudest.
Yeah, you were the loudest
Yeah.
officially.
Did we have Sonic Youth on?
We had Sonic Youth
Or
on.
was Swervedriver louder?
I think so. I think so. I think you were
Controversial.
officially louder than Sonic Youth.
We would have had a decibelometer, wouldn't we?
Yeah, I think I remember the men in suits coming down, going, "What's this racket? Turn it off!"
It's like the next door neighbours came down.
Yeah.
Yeah, Beryl.
You know, there was just that layer of middle management that didn't understand youth culture or music and didn't really want to know, and that would often come down and tell us off. Luckily, out here in Coburg, we can make as much noise as we darn well like.
With an Aldi guitar.
Yeah. Kumbaya.
But the really, I guess, pivotal moment for me, I mean, having been such a fan of the band since Son of Mustang Forward, and having you on Recovery back in the day, was actually meeting your then manager, Andy.
Oh, yeah?
Because remember we used to have beers afterwards, and we
Yeah.
all had beers after the show. Everyone would stick around because it was 3 hours, and then at lunchtime we'd have a barbecue and beer. And I got chatting to your manager, and he said, I mentioned that I was doing radio, and he said, "Oh, well, you got to come over London because there's this new radio station I'm involved with called XFM."
Yeah.
And I went, ba-ding, like
You're right,
a light
yeah.
bulb went off in my head.
That's when it all happened, dude.
And anytime anyone ever asked me back in those days, well, why did you come to London? Why
Yeah.
you know, because I ended up getting a job at
Yeah.
XFM, as you remember. And I go, Swervedriver. It's Swervedriver. Like, and so I ended up
It was
living there for
Andy.
8 years.
You got, lulled by his dulcet Cockney tones. Like, tell you what, Darnish, come out of London. And,
Arthur Daly.
Yeah.
Looking like me.
It's kind of like that. There was Matt Ambound. Do you remember Matt Ambound? Because he used to sell out T-shirts, and he used to do a sort of double act thing with Gervais, I think, on XFM. There's Fraser there as well. But Matt used to sell out T-shirts, but he set it up as like a vegetable store. And we played gigs in London, he'd have like the vinyl and the CDs laid out, but also carrots and then sort of rolling up.
So
like,
just sell stuff from the farm.
Yeah.
Buy my wonderful T-shirt.
Right, farmer's market. Down at a Swervedriver. Go and see a band and I'll just get my potatoes for tonight's tea.
I think it's marvellous. I think we should steer music in that direction. It should be about good organic food as well.
Yeah, true. Speaking of organic food, would you like a
These aren't special cookies, are they?
No, they're not.
Okay.
I don't worry.
Don't know what you're talking
It's
about.
Breakfast.
it's a brownie. We call them brownies here. Yeah,
Brownies.
they're pretty good, aren't they?
Oh, good.
Oh, wait a minute.
What would they be? They were called brownies everywhere.
When you said
aren't
they weren't those ones. That's fine.
That's a brownie in England, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is, isn't it? It's brownie. Yeah.
Now, the current album's called Future Ruins. It's your 6th album from memory.
That's right, yeah.
And you know, isn't it funny that from, if you go way back to through your back catalogue, the sound has not changed. Like, it just, you've managed quality control in that aspect.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of evolved a little bit and it's gone off in slightly different directions, but the core
But
sound
the
is
fuzz
always
and guitar,
there. Yeah.
it's
'Cause
still
I think
there.
that's just still. I mean, the one thing about Swervedriver, I suppose, is the one constant has been the guitars. Well, the guitars and the voice. So the basic thing there, the rhythm section sort of undulates into different kind of valleys and troughs.
Peaks and troughs.
Never troughs.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
come on.
Huge peaks.
unless they're
we're on the
works out
Himalayas
troughs.
right now.
Yeah.
In any mass-produced thing, there's going to be some rat feces in there. Or you just
What
But,
video
yeah.
should we look at from the new record?
Well, we could try out Spiked Flower, maybe.
Spiked Flower.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's look at Spiked Flower. Swervedriver, here on Recovered.
recovered.
Spike
love affair with Australia. I know your father's actually Australian. He's
Both my parents are Australian.
both of them.
Yeah, my mum's Tasmanian.
Oh,
So
That's
sorry.
not really
yeah,
Australia.
yeah. So I've been going back. Well, I guess for the first 15 years I haven't been to Australia. I grew up and was raised in England.
So did you have this, I guess, notion of Australia because your parents were Australian? They must have been talking about,
Vegemite.
Yeah, just stuff I just didn't understand, and where they used to live and all this kind of stuff. You hear all the stories, and then I came out when I was 15, I think, the first time, and just met my grandparents because I hadn't sort of met my extended family and all that kind of stuff. And then I came out when I was about 19, and sort of hitchhiked around Australia as a young kid, basically.
wow.
And but yeah, I hadn't spent a long time until 2 years ago when we actually moved out here.
So what was the basis behind relocating to Victoria?
Yeah, well, that's because I've got 2 young kids, and it's just that period just before they started school, and we kind of finished an album cycle. Sorry about that.
That might be your wife now.
Yeah, exactly. We kind of just finished like an album cycle with Swervies, and I had this kind of hole, and there's nothing else going on, so we just went for it, and I managed to get my kids Australian citizenship while I was out here. So.
But really, his kids have been quite greedy because their mother's French, so presumably they've already got British and French passports.
Well, they're going to need the French ones.
Yeah, they're going to need the
about to
French
happen
ones,
in
of course,
England.
Yeah. Gee, that looks
Messy.
that looks very messy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it worrying?
Yeah, I mean, we were actually playing Newcastle. No, we were playing Melbourne, in fact, and we were flying to Newcastle on the night of the
vote.
The vote.
Oh, that was 3 years ago.
referendum.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, because everyone was sleeping back home, but we were kind of checking our phones, and then lost the signal, got on the plane.
Well, yeah, we had to turn our phones off for the flight just as the vote was coming in, and when we landed, it was it was all over. So we
Like,
played a very,
shit.
very passionate gig that night.
Yeah,
I
we
remember.
were quite angry that night.
Yeah.
That's good fuel.
It was.
Isn't it, anger? It's an energy.
Yes,
John
anger's an
Lydon
energy.
saying,
Yes.
Yeah.
And arguably, all that anger from that and other things going on in the world sort of fueled a lot of the stuff with the future ruins.
Right.
It's like,
Right.
It's gone. I mean, you could do that, or you could just,
You
make
can't
something
because
out of
that's
it.
attached to
That's
the
stuck
current.
there. But also, Bruce would
Everything's
kill me.
attached.
Just,
Yeah, it's like a boat of the road.
When Supergrass first toured, I think it was the big day out we first saw you. I
Yeah.
have fond memories
Yeah.
of that ridiculously hot day.
And Keith Flint was there. We were hanging out with him.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's terribly sad.
God
but
rest his soul.
But
Indeed.
I remember sitting in the jacuzzi with Keith Flint. Talking
In a
about
jacuzzi?
talk about having kids with Keith Flint. It was
Right.
quite
Wow.
weird.
What, having kids together? Adopt
Yeah,
kids?
exactly.
Yeah.
Me and Keith.
Wow.
That's nice.
Keith Flint also went to the same school as Steve George, our old bass player.
Right.
And he was like a couple of years below him, and Steve always said, we was really surprised that really mellow, chilled out little kid from 2 years below is now this with the
Fire starting
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
when I
but-
moved to London, I actually ended up living in this share house, and one of my flatmates was the original dancer of the
Oh,
Prodigy,
right.
Okay.
Sharky, who left the band just before Music for the
Right.
Jilted Generation.
Wow.
So of course, I get home one night, bleary-eyed. Open the front door, go into my kitchen, and Keith is literally in there with boxer shorts on and thongs, cooking eggs and bacon. And it was one of those moments where you go, okay, I've been out. I went out. I remember going to the front and texting and going, the fire starter is cooking eggs and bacon in my kitchen. It was just one of those surreal moments you
He's
never
lighting
forget.
the stove top going, I'm the fire starter. Why isn't it working?
There with the extinguisher,
So you were still out.
That's surreal.
Well, I was still out. Yeah, I was going.
He was under
what?
fire.
Yeah,
the fire
it was
starter.
nuts. It was nuts.
I sang in the choir with a man from Suede, and they're from England.
Yeah, which guy from Suede?
Was
Or
it
did you
Brent?
just make that up?
No, I didn't make it
Was it
up.
Brent
Codling,
Anderson?
Neil Codling.
Neil.
Neil.
Was it Neil?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's,
right,
he's
yeah,
like
yeah.
a multi-instrumentalist,
Yeah.
talented.
I knew if I said an English person, you'd know them.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.